So few of my friends were in Washington, D.C., and my friend Lauren and my friend Teresa were down there just doing sidewalk counseling. And this truck from a company called Curtis Bay Energy pulled up and takes boxes from this abortion clinic out, and this starts to load them on the truck. And my friends say to this driver, "Hey, do you know what's inside those boxes?" And this driver had absolutely zero clue. And they said, "Well, those are aborted babies." And he was just totally shocked and visibly disturbed. You could tell that he was potentially doing this for years and never even knew what was inside those boxes. And he's frantically looking through his paperwork, trying to determine, like, man, is this true? Looks and sees the box, Washington Surgery Center, checks his paperwork, and it just like dawns on him. And they use this opportunity to say, "Hey, can we take a box?" And he's like, "What? Like, what? Why in the world would you do that?" And they're like, basically, "We want to give these babies a dignified burial and a funeral service." And so he basically says, "Well, I've scanned these boxes in. I'm not looking." So my friend Lauren takes a box, and they go back to a place of safety and open it up. And my wife and I were in New York at the time, and at the Margaret Sanger Planned Parenthood over there, just doing ministry and trying to help women. And so we get this phone call from my friend Teresa, just frantic. I've never heard her speak like this ever, and just terrified, and saying, "AJ, I need you here right now." So my wife and I jumped on a train, and we were there day one that they picked up these babies, and about 4.5 hours later. And I mean, I've said this before, but nothing would be able to really prepare us for what we were going to see. There's over 115, aborted image bearers of God inside at different gestational ages, but 5 of those babies were almost full-term babies, Evelyn, and brutally dismembered, some of them, and some of them had evidence of infanticide and partial birth abortion. These just children brutally dismembered and brutally murdered. Their images and faces I will never ever forget. So there was 5 babies. All of them were late term. I know for a fact every one of them most likely would have survived outside the womb, some of which with very little, one of which probably no medical help, 1 or 2 of which probably no medical help at all. So we named every single one of them just to kind of dignify them. But Christopher X was the largest of the 5, and was almost full term. I had a friend of mine date him around 34, 35 weeks. I don't know, probably a victim of just infanticide, because he was still pink. And then there was Angel, which was another baby that was just totally dismembered. And then Holly was dismembered also. Phoenix was still, like I explained, in the amniotic sac. And then the last child, Harriet, I'm sorry. Harriet was the other one. So Harriet, it was the only one of the 5 that was the overwhelming evidence of partial birth abortion. And having held these babies and seen what abortion is, I can truly tell you that abortion is the most vile and demonic and despicably wicked thing that anybody could ever do to a child. and it has to stop.
Mm.
There are a lot of issues at play of injustice and issues that we need to solve in society, but this one has got to take the cake.